Hello and welcome to today's video where I deep dive into all you need to know about how to choose the right advisor for you. Now, anyone that's undergone this process will know what a big step this is. A brilliant financial planner is going to be someone who will journey through life's ups and downs with you. They will know your family, your affairs, often better than anyone else. And if you think about it, relationships like this don't happen in an instant. They take time to build and they need the right connection. So finding the right person who you feel you click with and who gets you is really critical for you to get the most out of the relationship. So you've done the right thing to watch this, and I hope that these 5 top tips will be a really big help in your own journey of selecting your financial planner. Now, before we get into my 5 top tips, just to let you know, I'm offering some helpful freebies for you to take away and to use during your quest of finding your financial planner. So do make sure that you stick around to the very end of the video where I'll be sharing these with you. So where do you start? Number 1, make a shortlist. Now at this early stage, you want to select a smaller list of companies or advisors that you would like to find out more about. There is an abundance of financial advisors out there, and Google will show you this. But savvy SEO experts for the bigger brands can make Google quite a minefield for narrowing it down at this early stage. So it's no wonder that it can feel overwhelming at the start of your search. So a quick check-in with family, friends, and colleagues for a recommendation can be a really helpful way to add to your shortlist someone that you may not have found another way. And a personal recommendation is going to feel a lot of the groundwork has already been done for you. Now, another tip if you're using a search engine to find an advisor is why not try and be specific in your search, because this can narrow down the options and definitely help. For example, many clients find us by Googling chartered financial planner who works with women or who works in women's wealth. So a more specific criteria is more likely to lead you in the right direction rather than simply putting in something like financial advisor near me. Now, speaking of chartered financial planners or a certified financial planner, these are both qualifications that many people will hold and will seek out. We hold this qualification ourselves and we're rightly proud of it, but that doesn't mean to say that you won't shortlist an advisor who isn't chartered status. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to cross them off your list, but my suggestion would be that you may want to ask some more questions to understand how important this particular feature is to you. Number 2, once you have your shortlist, then the Googling and other search engines are available can begin to find out who's in and who's out. So firstly, you're likely to find their website. This is an advisor's online shop window, and it can give you a really quick gut feel for the type of company that you're looking at. Who are the people? Do they cover the areas that you think you need advice on? What can you expect if you work with them? You're likely to get an initial feel as to whether you like or dislike what you see. You may want to ask yourself some questions as you go through their website too, such as who are the types of clients that they work with? Do they work with clients like you? What services do they offer? What qualifications do they have? Do they offer any additional resources, any blogs, any videos and guides? These are all things that you can look into further to help decide if they speak to you in a language that you understand, or if they communicate in a way that makes sense to you. Do you see yourself in the types of clients that they work with, or any concerns that they address through these resources? Number 3, the initial contact. Now, you've probably identified 2 or 3 firms that have resonated with you. And so the next step is to get in touch for a call. Most financial advisors will have a quick introductory call to establish if they can help you and explain how they work. So this initial stage can be really useful in getting a feel for how responsive they are, how professional and polite they are, and how comfortable you felt on the call. You can find out things like whether they work with clients like you. Did they ask any questions that made you think differently about your situation? And if this was a positive call, the next step is usually to set up an appointment for a more structured call or meeting. Now, sometimes this might be called a formal initial call or a discovery meeting. But before you do this, it's really good to reflect on how the process has gone so far. Did you feel a right fit or connection with a particular advisor that you spoke to? Or did someone not live up to the expectations that you had hoped? You can take a moment to write down the pros and the cons for each firm and advisor that you've spoken to, just to help you clarify your thoughts before moving forwards. Number 4, the more in-depth call. Now, if you move to the discovery or the more in-depth initial call stage, which typically is at no cost to you, this may last anywhere from around 30 to 60 minutes, and it will give both you and the advisor a bit more time to understand what's on your mind and how they could potentially help. It's really a getting to know each other better kind of session. Now, it's also a good time to understand the advisor's fees and how they work. And at the end of that call, they'll likely ask if you want to engage them. Now, a good thing to think about here is whether they can add value to you. So a really good advisor will tell you if they can't add value to your situation, and better still, point you in the right direction, rather than just taking you on as a client if they're not best suited to add value to you. Number 5, my final point for today when it comes to making your decision. It is then up to you to make your decision to decide who you want to work with and to then arrange the next steps to move forward. Now, of course, fees will play an important part in that decision-making process, and you should expect to pay reasonable professional fees for a good quality advisor. But fees are by no means the only factor, and you want to get this decision right. Now, this process and meeting lots of advisors can be really time-consuming, and you may not want to spend quite so much time on the whole process. So it's okay to go with someone that you like straight away. A huge part of selecting the right advisor is to do with finding the right fit. But equally, if you need more time or you wish to arrange further meetings with any of the advisors that you've spoken to, do that. It's got to be right for you. So I hope this helps you in your quest to find your own financial planner. Now, as I said at the start of the video, we've got 2 free resources that we're giving away to help you with your own journey of finding the right financial planner. The first is a list of 15 questions that you can ask prospective advisors. And the second is a scorecard to go alongside to help you keep track of the responses that you have with this handy tool. I hope that's helpful. Good luck and look forward to seeing you next time.